I mean, you ain't heard? I'm like a man smoking at a gas station.
What that mean?
I'm about to blow up.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for tuning in again for another episode. We made it to episode 5. If you didn't listen to episode 4, you're missing out. You're slipping. So I need you to go back and check that one out. We talked about mental health. We talked about just a lot of different things, that pertain to just the black culture and mental health and the stigma, negative stigma, and just some practical tools that you can use, throughout your life and throughout your day. So please go back and check that out. But this week, episode 5, I got a super dope guest, man. Somebody who, you can't put him in a box at all, man. He's a comedian. He's a producer, a writer. He's a barber. He's, a businessman. So, he has so many things that he's doing. He has a super dope story. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think. I'll holler at you at the end of the podcast. But yeah, peace.
Who you are. Duh.
Hey, that's a good point.
Oh, no. Here it is. It's your boy.
Hey.
It's your boy. No, I'm a grown man. Why am I still your boy?
I'm going to switch up my whole intro now.
It's gonna be like,
thinking about it every time.
It's the astounding. You got to be like, you got to sound like you're doing mathematical problems, B. You got to be like, it's out here.
Hey, you right, man.
You know what I'm saying? Cats out
I gotta
here.
work on that now, man.
Cats be out. It's your boy.
I'm gonna have you do my intro now.
Yo, it's your boy. Okay.
Yeah, so man, first thank you, man, for letting me. Well, let me introduce you first, man, because I don't know how to give you a title.
Okay.
I don't know how to. Some people may call you a comedian. Mm-hmm. Some people might call you an artist. Mm-hmm. Some people might call you a motivational speaker. Mm-hmm. Some people might call you a barber. What do you like to go by as far as titles?
Today I would be called Ashy because of my hands. I literally wash my hands before. So I'm trying to keep it under this curve, but I guess I could be called all those things. So, thank you, man. I appreciate the intro. Marcus, Harvey, I guess I can go by all those, producer, writer, creator, plug. I really like to go by plug now. Like, OG, young OG in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, still can wear skinny jeans, you feel me? And it not look like, oh man, you gonna get your old ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, cats still be like, oh, that's fresh, homie. I appreciate that. So I can still be like, okay, but still be like, I got grays in my beard.
Right,
so,
right.
I like that. But, nah, man, barber, comedian, son of Teresa, husband of Christina, father of Nova and Kingsley, coming soon like an album, dropping August 27th, B, you know what I'm saying? Go cop that baby, dropping them joints out like
Hey,
Drake.
congrats, man. You have another one, man?
Another one.
DJ Khaled.
Another one.
Man, so...
Did the Drake vocals come in yet? Never!
Man,
so
man.
we about to get a young king, man. So I'm 2 for 2. I'm out the game now.
That's it?
Man. Me and my wife it's crazy, man. Me and my wife were married. Christina Harvey, shouts out to her. Mm-hmm. Me and my wife were married 9 years before we had kids. This kid, Nova, upstairs, just said something. She just heard it.
Yeah, she did say something.
But 9 years, it was crazy because we had, we weren't even really pressed for it because my wife's a singer. Like, she's a remarkable singer, man. Like, she sings background for, like, a gospel artist. She does her own projects. She writes, she is one of the lead praise and worship leaders at one of the biggest churches in Atlanta with no album, you know what I'm saying? And she just does her thing, and, I do what I do. So we've kind of always been traveling, enjoying life, just being cool, like, living like some some suburban white folks, real talk, you know what I'm saying? Like living real yuppie-ish, like saying, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but God was, people would always ask us, like, y'all trying to have kids, and I always, I love kids. I used to be a summer camp counselor, so I always wanted them, and then just randomly, man, Wife came around pregnant.
Yeah.
And we lost that one the month after.
Dang.
Then the next month, we do a checkup.
Yeah.
We were pregnant again.
Dang.
And we lost that one a month later at the checkup.
Dang.
We didn't even want to go to the next checkup.
Yeah.
But we did anyway. Pregnant again. And that's the little girl screaming upstairs.
Wow.
So we went 9 years without having kids to 2 back-to-back like miscarriages.
Yeah.
To like the prettiest baby upstairs chilling. Yeah. She's in a karate gi.
She is beautiful, man.
She in a karate gi with angel wings. Like I didn't even know they made ninja angels. That's what that should be called. If you went Amazon search, I want you guys to look at this. Is what you look up. Ninja angel, and that's what my daughter's wearing.
I didn't even check the wings. I ain't see
you
the
didn't
wings.
See the wings?
No,
oh, bring it back down. Did y'all see the wings?
Man, but man, speak about that. So after the 2 miscarriages, somebody else would have just stopped trying.
Okay, and mind you, like me and my wife are like super like into the church.
Yeah.
Like I used to be an armor bearer. My wife, like I said, is a praise and worship leader, raised in the church all of her life. You know, brothers and sisters. She sings with her sisters and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And bro, real talk, the first miscarriage, I was just like, I was just like, how you gonna play me like that? Real talk, like this is just to God, like, like 9 years, like I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, and that's like something that I heard like a TD Jakes interview or sermon, and he was like, don't tell me about, and it's crazy, this is why this is popping up. But it was like, TD was like, David was like, don't tell me that I'm going to be king and I still got to go back and herd sheep. Yeah. But I was like, don't tell me that we can have kids and then take the child. Like how you do that, especially after 9 years when we were like, oh, we good. We about to be the dopest aunties and uncles. The ones who, I wanted to be old skating uncle. You know what I'm saying? The uncle skating in the all black, coming up on your left, young man, coming up on your left. I'm always showing up late to every birthday party. A little tipsy, already ready to party. Hey, baby, what's up? I thought this was gonna be us, and she was gonna be the one the auntie was always apologizing. You know what I'm saying? Like, your uncle, baby. Your uncle. I thought it was gonna be like that one, like Uncle Mook in the house. Hey, but then I was like, so then how you gonna play me with like trying to hit me down with the false start? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when it came down the second time, I was like, but it was crazy. The second time, like the first time, I was like, I'm divorcing God. It was really, I literally said, hey, dog, we ain't even cool no more like that. We good. I'm kind of moving on my own anyways. It's good. But then, of course, I was like, it was just like, how could you turn your back on where he's brought you from? It was just like, and I felt like God was just like, I'm just going to let you get your air out. It's all good. I'm not even taking no offense to this, like a patient father. And then the second time it happened, I didn't even react the same way. I was just like, well, I guess, hey, he like playing, so I know something about to come on the other end that's going to be funny, so it's all good. Even if I got to make some jokes out of it, because that's how I've always had my mindset, like, any pain that I have to make money off of it. Not necessarily just money in a sense, but like impact. I have to have like if I get got, I gotta learn my lesson and never get got again. So like I was just like, okay, if that's the case, I'm gonna taper my expectation for you. Yeah. But then when that second joint, he was like, nah, don't taper your expectation. Just let me be me. I got you. And I was like, wow, okay. God, my bad. We all the way good. Yeah. We all the way Gucci. The next month. Cha-ching, pow, bow, 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 bow. I'm looking into the camera. Bow, bow, bow. Mr. Mark.
Oh my goodness.
So God is good, man, and I can't even front, man. Like he'll take you through some like he'll literally take you through some adversity to just let you know like it's gonna be cool. Like you got plenty of life to live, bro. Yeah. Plenty of life to live. And I know that it's probably gonna be another incident where it hits me so hard and I'm like, oh, okay, that first time I let you slide now. But this is you done gone too far. But I realize like I love too many people in my life. I have so many people that have a part of my heart that I'm gonna feel bad about anybody being taken out of my life. So why would I even have some type of premeditated like anger towards God when I know eventually all of us are going to be separated just by time wise.
Right.
So like enjoy everybody at this moment and enjoy your time and enjoy God.
Hey man, so were you always in a place like that, or did it take you time to get to a place where you can just that mindset that you got now?
I guess you always have been what you've been, but like you get some type of enhancement as you grow up. Like I mean, my mom was always resilient. You know what I'm saying? She was a single mother, but then my stepfather came into play. Very quiet man, but just was a good example. Was just and then my dad, even though we didn't live in the same state, he was still very like present in my life. But like I was always like having to fend for myself in a sense because my mom was like a younger, older woman. Like she was like in her 20s, but she was already having to like experience life old. So she was like, she was still like figuring out her own situation. So like me as a kid, like she can't tell me how to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm figuring out how to just do my own stuff. So I think one thing that God has blessed me with is self-awareness. A lot of times, like it's even weird. Like even me and my wife would get into an argument, and like I'll be like going at her. Like I mean, like we'll be like talking like I didn't hit my hands together. No, I've never put my hands on my wife. Me too. Never me. No. I'm talking about combative. You know how black women be getting with the words. They be like, you and they start grabbing. I'm just saying, and I'm like, yo, like. But then I realize she'll say a great point. Yeah. And like in mid conversation, like I'll be like heated. I'll be like, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be having her on points that like I'll have her on good factual points. Yeah. But she'll hit me with the heart of the argument that makes my whole mindset turn. And I'll be like, actually, you're right. Like literally in the middle of the conversation, she'd be like, stop playing with me. You think you always, see, I hate that. And then it's like, I kind of like talk her down for 2 minutes to tell her like, nah, you actually right. Like I was like, it just hit me that quick. Yeah. And it's like, it is kind of like, even when it comes down to like anything, like business wise, if I make a mistake, like, okay, I'm going to take on to it. And then I'm going to kind of reboot it and make sure that I make a way to where I can make something out of it. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So
and like saying, so the fact that you had to learn a lot of stuff on your own, was it a lot of like bumps and bruises or?
Yeah, heck yeah. Because I mean, I don't think people are taught how to teach. Yeah. Right? I mean.
That's true.
Who's taught?
That's true though.
Yeah, nobody's taught how to teach. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of hard a lot of times, like, especially in our community where like you're looking for teachers and there's not a lot, you know what I'm saying? But like I was fortunate enough to actually have a barbershop like right around the corner from my house, like literally like cut through the woods, boom, 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 Oh snap! There's a barbershop over here, so, and like literally would get my hair cut. My mom was like, I don't feel like sitting up there I ain't sitting up there. Go ahead, get your hair cut. You know what I'm saying? And she knows she knows I'm gonna be gone for like 4 hours. She's like, my mom 25. Like man, now that I'm a parent, I be seeing the tricks, man. I can't wait to pull these tricks on Nova. And you better not be watching this Nova 5-6 years from now and see my little tactics. Get your butt and go do something else. Oh, why you always mad at me? I'm scared. So like, nah, my mom like so. So I went to, we used to go hang out at the barbershop, and like maybe the first couple times, like me hanging out and getting my hair cut was like, once a month or something like that, but like I would have to, like, because I'm a once a month kid, ain't no barber wanting to cut my hair.
Man,
like,
real,
who wants to cut that little kid hair? Man. I ain't getting no tip. His head probably ain't been washed, funky little dirty by itself. Like you get like, all right, finally get your butt up there. So I'm like sitting up there in the barbershop for like 6-7 hours, right? And so like I'm just watching people just interact, like people laughing, joking, like the barbers just like, each barber has their own personality, their own like interaction with their clients, their own like type of feel. Another barber come in later than most, you know what I'm saying? Like every barber has their kind of like, you have the like real professional barber, the button up guy. And we had a shop of 12 barbers. So I saw like each and every type of barber there was like at the age of 12. So I'm sitting there one time, like maybe like this is maybe after like going to the barbershop 6-7 times by myself, which is almost like a half a year, right? And which is a half a year plus 6 hours on top of that. So I've been in that barbershop for a while, and I keep seeing this little kid sweeping up hair, like with the little push broom, sweeping up the hair around after every cut. He gets everybody stationed. If a barber walks around, he'll dust the clippers off, straighten their station back up. He'll go get the food for them. He'll get the cash, and then I would always see him fresh haircut. The hustle man come in and know the little kid name and be giving him free stuff wow. And I'm sitting here, and this is before the fur. This is before the fur, y'all. I couldn't even do this move. This is when I was 12. I couldn't even do this move. This is before the fur. This is before the fur, dog.
Before the fur.
This is before the fur. Long story short, man, I'm like, dang, this kid get, and then at the end of the day, because I'm like I said, the last kid, I'm the last, and nobody's mama brought me in, ain't no pressure on these guys, they just let me just keep getting bumped, right? So I see him at the end of the day, every barber pays him $10. We have 12 barbers, $120 at the age of 13, dog.
Dang.
And I'm like, how can I?
How can I get on?
How can I get on? And boldly, and my barber was actually the guy who cut my hair was the owner of the shop. He felt bad. Yeah. So, he would just start cutting my hair, but he would always have me at the end, and I'd just be there at the beginning and get me at the end of the day. And so, long story short, man, I literally just was like, can I get on? Say, yeah, come back next Thursday. He said, yeah, come back next Thursday. So I could start trading from buddy. The dude's name was Russell. Russell actually owns a shop in Gwinnett now too. That's crazy. Which is crazy. A1 Cuts in Gwinnett County, which is kind of funny, man. It's hilarious. But so he trained me on how to sweep up. So then from the age of 12 to maybe 14, 13, or 14, before I got into high school or whatnot, or whatever, I worked there. And so I just it was just by osmosis, just the whole culture just grinding. So I'd be leaving out the joint, man. And I had a gambling problem, AKA arcade, because that's how they get you.
That is how you start young.
See, that's how they start you young. They had an arcade across the street from my shop, from my house. So my apartment complex was right here. The barbershop was right here. There's this shopping plaza called Green's Corner. Right here, and it had a arcade in the bottom, right? And my route would be my apartment would be in the back, and I would just walk through the woods and come through the back to get to the shop. And then when I leave, I just walk across the street, boom, look both ways across, prime time step across, bruh. When you know you got $120 and you about to go to the arcade and play running guns. Child, please. That's a lot. Yeah, you right. That's before the fur, too. Mind you, that's before. Remind them before the fur. Mind you, that's before the fur. That's going to be the name of the podcast. That's going to be the name of this episode. You got to see how real this fur. If you ain't watching how
man, so at this point, did it hit you? Were you conscious of I think I want to be a barber?
I mean, not necessarily as a career, because we all have hoop dreams and football dreams. So I was cutting so my freshman year, going into my freshman year, my mom got into a car accident in my 8th grade year, right? So we had to move. I was going to go to Meadow Creek, so I was going to Meadow Creek for my first semester.
And where you living at this time?
I was living in Gwinnett County. Okay. So I was born in Houston, raised in Gwinnett County, and 8th grade year, my mom gets into the car accident, hurts her knee. We have to kind of readjust. Yeah. Long story short, we go to right before we leave, I just finally got the bug. I was like, man, I'm about to leave. I don't want to just try to do everything I want to do. So I cut my homeboy. First time I do a haircut, cut my homeboy. His name is AJ Templin. I cut his hair with some raggedy wall, non-adjustable walls that you get at the. I'm talking about. I tried to do a baldy on this guy with this, bruh. 2 hours later. 2 hours. On a baldy.
Man, he was a real friend.
Real friend, bro. And I still charge him. Yeah. Damn right, because I got to pay for the fur, baby. Got to pay for the fur. You ain't seeing why I got a fur. How am I gonna get paid for the fur if I can't? I don't charge anything. But nah, man, cut his hair. And but then when I moved to Tennessee, that's when something kind of clicked a tad bit because it wasn't really clicking because I had a new start on life. So
why you moved to Tennessee?
So my mom got into the car accident, right, and we couldn't afford to live in Atlanta any longer. So my grandmother lived in Morristown, Tennessee. Shouts out to Morristown, Tennessee. Morristown, right outside of Knoxville, where everybody talks like this. Man, Harvey, hey, Harvey, what are you doing, Harvey? Harvey, what are you doing? Everybody talks like that. It's just very remarkable. Yeah. And these are the black people, right? Yeah. Oh, that's the black folks. That's not even the white folks. That's the. Hey, Harvey, I'm just telling you like this. I love you, sir. You ran that ball straight through that A-gap. Cut that thing. You know what I'm saying? So. I played football, ran track, hooped, you know what I'm saying? So, I really wasn't I'm going to be you're not thinking as a high school, what am I going to do for profession or whatnot. I'm just going to go to school. I love sports. I'm going to go to school. I might walk on, play some Division II hoop or something like that, and then move on to Morehouse. This was my plan. You know what I'm saying? Get me some buckets real quick. Now, don't even get it twisted. Don't look at me now. Before the fur, bruh, and before the fat. Before the fur and the fat, that's 2 F's. Before the fur and the fat, boy, I used to hoop, bruh. Ask your folks, bruh. I'm talking about the cats on Skiz-8s. Jay Wet. Ha. Huh. Get off me. Don't touch me. Ha. Get off. Don't touch me. Ha. You know what I'm saying? But thinking that I'm going to do that, I'm not, I know that I'm 5'8". I know I'm 5'8", 5'10". You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know what I am. You know what I'm saying? And I know I got asthma, so I knew I wasn't gonna be no professional hooper. Yeah. But I was like, I'm gonna at least ride it out to where I can get some free education. And then I'm gonna go to Morehouse. I'm gonna go to Georgia Perimeter. Okay. Then I'm gonna go to Morehouse, and then I'm gonna go to University of Virginia, and I'm gonna be a sports agent, and that's how I'm gonna get my way into the NBA. Yeah. No, God was like, bruh. First off, you don't even studying. Yeah. So those last 2 steps is going to be kind of hard because you're not even going to get past this first step, which is Georgia Perimeter, past the first semester. Because you're going to be like, oh, okay. I can't just talk my way through this. You know what I'm saying? I needed study skills, all that other stuff. Didn't know how to apply those things. Didn't know how to dedicate time to really knock out certain requirements, knock out my papers. None of that stuff. I just didn't have it in me to do that. So I got put on academic probation for a semester, which was going to be the summer. It was a spring semester going into, it was my freshman year going into my spring semester, right? Okay. So my, that fall semester, I just was not focused. Had a long summer and I was just not focused. Yeah. Didn't even put my stuff in at the same time. Got my books late. Yeah. Just was started off raggedy, right? So it's maybe you should take a break. Yeah. So I was going to have to wait from. That's that self-assessment. Yeah, self-assessment, right? Yeah. So So mind you, I know at Christmas time all the way on that I'm not going to be in school for that whole semester and that whole summer because I'm not even thinking that I could just go to summer school because it's community college, my G. Take your time. Just go. It's all good. They didn't even teach you that though. They don't even try to put a brother through that type of thing. It's just okay, get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at it. I was like, all right, I'm not just going to sit there and do nothing. Mind you, at the time, rewinding a little bit, in high school, there was in Morristown, knowing that you didn't know where that was at because it's a small town right outside of Knoxville, which is where the UT Vols is, right? Yeah. So this is a small rural town. We got a mall. We got a mall. You know what I'm saying? Which you could do a lot. It's our mall's it's a Greenbrier mall is our high-end mall. That's our high-end mall. Yeah. For real? Oh, we was living.
How many people you think it Morristown? I'm about to Google.
I ain't trying. Yeah, Google it because I'm not going to try to lie and diss my folks. And then when I go back home, they're like, "Oh, you know what? You're shorter than 500 people." It ain't gonna try to do that. You know what I'm saying? But there was no barbers. Oh, mind you, this. Okay, how about these numbers? Okay. There was only 2 barbers in the town.
In the whole town.
2 black barbers. Only 2 black barbers in the town. Dang. 2 black barbers. One of them was a drunk. And the other one was too young to even know what he was doing. So he was always shaky. So I was like, I'm not letting. And mind you, I'm coming from a shop that had 12 options. You know what I'm saying? So even the worst guy from there could go to Morristown and how many people?
29,000. It ain't that bad.
Bruh, they lied. half of them dead. They just forgot to cross.
2016.
What year are we in? That's how bad they didn't even update it. They're like, you know what? Listen, 2016. That's gonna be our last year counting you guys.
Hey, you guys go back home, man.
I love my spot. They love me. That's what they bred me. That's what they made. They know what it is. But long story short, man, I started cutting lining myself up. Caught these little raggedy clippers and these little T-liners or whatnot. Had like the little beige. It was weird. Little weird joints. Rusty teeth, but I would put a whole bunch of rubbing alcohol on it to make sure it's sterilized. Like, okay, this is going to ignore the rust. You know that if you put alcohol, it's rusty, dog. I'm talking about rusty. And so just line myself up, use my mom's leg razors. It was crazy. I swear to God, this is how you know that you're supposed to be built for greatness. Using my mom's leg razors, bruh. Rubbing alcohol, cleaning, using soap on my lineup. Cleaning my line, putting my line in the game, bro. Killing these cats, having a wave cap on, killing these cats with a leg razor, dog. Cats like, who cut you up, man? It's me with the leg razor, bro. Dang. So I just kind of started finally putting 2 and 2 together my senior year, 4 years later. I'm gonna hoop and do all that other stuff. But I'm like, well, let me just go ahead. I want to try to knock out everything that I want to knock out. So like I did before in Atlanta. I did the same thing. I cut my homeboy's hair. He's like one of those guys who's in the city, who's like in the town. It's like I said, it's a small town, and he pretty much was like he was known, but he was known not to be necessarily the cleanest guy. So I pretty much gave this dude a total makeover, man. We drove around in my little what is it, a Chevy something? It's a Chevy something. That's what it was called, a Chevy something. That thing would cut off at stop signs, bro. But we was riding out, stopping places so people could see the cut. Boy, he had some swag, and I just felt that moment. I was like, dang, I was able to give my boy some light like that. You know what I'm saying? That was my homie that I rocks with. I'm mad popular in the city. He's pretty much like not necessarily an outcast, but he's just his own person. You know what I'm saying? Like people wouldn't even put the two together. Right. But then when I put a haircut on him, everybody's like, oh, what up, homie, what up, Ramon, you fresh, dog, what, oh, snap. And it's and just to see his swag just jump up, I was like, okay, cool, I ain't really making no noise about it. Right. Try to go to school, like I said, go to college or whatnot. And while I was the reason why I wasn't focused was because that whole summer I finally had picked up some clippers and was cutting the cats at the church. Got really involved in my church and really wasn't too focused. So I was just cutting cats, in basements, bathrooms, and porches. That's all where every barber started.
Still with mom's leg razors, or you got some new?
Nah, listen, I upgraded, but I always cut. That's who I cut. I cut knives with the leg razor. I'm just lying with you. I've never cut knives with a leg razor. That's a lie. That's before the fur. I don't know what that was. But long story short, I had upgraded to I had a pair of T-liners. I had a pair of Masters, and that was it. And I was lighting cats' lineups up. I'm talking about double skinning them. You know how you get the 2 lines because the clipper gets too hot?
I had a few of those.
I'm cool. I'm thinking that the further I go back, the cooler it's going to make it because all the clipper side is going to catch the cold air and catch on and hit the clipper to make it cooler, and it doesn't do that. And I was talking about. You see the cat line up. See cat. Cat just looking like they just started melting. Just go to sleep.
Oh man.
So but I still felt that when I started picking up rhythm with it, it was okay, cool. So then that's when I went to school, and that's how I started.
And so you went to school here in Georgia?
Yeah, but I went to Empire Beauty School though. I went to a cosmetology school because I didn't like hitting the barber schools. The barber schools look kind of whack. Yeah. And not no diss to anybody who went to any barber schools in Atlanta. I wasn't looking to do that because that's kind of like I said, I already had a high standard of what I thought barbering was, and at the time there wasn't a lot of like showing you like how to like really get your money up in the barber game. It was just like, all right, cut. You can do this cut. You can do that cut. That's how I teach you how to cut. All right, get out of here. Here's your license. That's how a lot of them were. But I just thought that Empire was going to be one of them schools that was like, you know, where I can learn how to do female hair. And one, I had never touched a female hair in my life. And like I'm a product of a single mother. Like, and I never touched toe hair. Like I wasn't even like, hey mom, I like your hair. It wasn't like that. It's like, you gotta do something with that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm starting cosmetology school, like with a rat tail comb, with my dog, trying to part hair like this, like, like. My hands just like, it was like, why are my hands doing this? And so, but just stuck with it, man. Wore a suit pretty much every day to the joint. Always had a mindset of like wanting to like be excellent. And I think the reason why that happened was because I saw this little reality show on Bravo some years back in 2005. I'm gonna probably look it up just so I can see what the name of that joint was. But it was documenting a high-end stylist in New York, this white guy. And this dude was charging $500 per haircut. Haircut. $500 per haircut. And I was like, I'm talking about, he had the sleek, you know, stylish punk rock hair, you know, like, yeah, you know, I'm not blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I do this and they do that. You know, this is like before the Tabitha Salon takeovers, all that stuff. So this is when Bravo was really starting to get into high-end luxury and stuff like that. So I was just seeing like how he was like, I was like, dang, I ain't never seen no black barber be like, yo, this is what I charge, like that. So then I just looked at it from the perspective, I was like, okay, cool. So like, only way I was going to learn that is by going to cosmetology school or matching what I wanted to see. So learned it from there. And then a young lady came and spoke at my school, and I started assisting for her. And then started assisting for her for like maybe 4 years. Her name was Karen Owens. She taught me everything she knew. I was her assistant. I was doing relaxers, shampoos, roller sets, the color. Man, I was getting to it. Blow drying. I was getting to it. Like, I was doing everything but doing the curling iron. And like, and then I was like deciding if I was going to actually go that route or just go back to barbering. And I was like, I should just go back to barbering, but just infuse the things that I learned from the shampooing to all that other stuff, the customer service things. And that's how I got to here.
So what did that look like? You actually doing hair, like in the
bro.
salon? Like, what was that like,
bruh? Go ahead.
So like, cause I'm sure that wasn't your plan, like from the beginning, maybe, or was it?
It was. I didn't even have a plan of like. I just knew that I needed to get something. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like. But when I saw him and I saw the kind of shop that he was in, I was like, I guess I might have to be a cosmetologist and have to grow to love it. But I know that I can always go to barber. But then I was like, but why not infuse the luxury in with barbering? I mean, the luxury in with the compartmentalized styling on their end. You know what I'm saying? The color cutting styling. And why not integrate that type of style to like barbering? You know what I'm saying? Because and then I had been introduced to this one shop that was kind of doing an infusion of the two, which was called Saya. It was a shop in Atlanta, Georgia, a while back ago, and they had like stylists. They were sponsored by, or their product line was Aveda, and they were just doing like things like that. It was like this is an all black shop, and they were doing commission, and I was like. And everybody was just on the same plane. Wasn't nobody getting mad about like, yo, it wasn't no like, it wasn't none of that. I'm talking about like, that's the first time I got a shampoo. But I was like, this dude cut the crap out of my hair, bruh. And when I say, I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. And that's why I went to cosmetology school and just kind of like fused the two. And then when I saw them doing an example, I was like, and I saw where I was styling at, you know, how she was doing what she was doing and what kind of money she was making styling. I was like, I know that I'm not make as much money as I would if I was just been a stylist. Because had I stuck with styling,
that's a lot of money.
Listen, had I stuck to styling and had the same trajectory that I have now, but just on the other end as far as styling, bruh, I would have been on tour with Beyonce. And then I would have had a real fur. This dog, it would have had a lion's face on it. A live lion's face, but the body would have been gone. It was the King of Zamunda. That's what I would have been if I would have stuck with Doggo styling. But I stuck with you barbers and you guys. Oh, dirty hair guys. Washing y'all. Never wash your freaking hair. If you in the shower, how are you missing your scalp, dog? Listen. That's all I need. That's all I need you to do. Okay, that's a lesson to be learned from everybody.
Hey, everybody out there, wash your hair. All the guys,
wash your hair. Right? I don't want to hear that. I ain't supposed to wash my hair, but wash your feet.
Hey, they things the same.
But then you put a pound of grease in your hair every day. You think that just evaporating? No, it don't do that. It doesn't do that. Yeah, baby.
So, around the time after the 4 years, how old are you about?
After the 4 years of
being in the salon, before you transition?
I'm probably about 25. Yeah, because when I graduated from cosmetology school and started cutting hair, that's when I got married. And I had started picking up like some steam too. Yeah. Because I started working at the shop called Tony's. And then I started working at the shop called Tony's Barber Salon, where I really learned a lot because Tony was a dope influence on me. Another brother who had like 6 chairs, but he was doing booth rent. But his booth rent at the time in 2007, because that's when I graduated 2005. I worked with her one more year. 2007, 2008, when I started working with Tony, he had 8 chairs. Everybody was paying booth rent, but they was paying like $250, $300. Yeah. Now, if I told people $250, $300 in 2018, when cats are charging $35 for haircuts now, you know what they would look at me like? Hey man, I don't make money, man.
So what's the average booth rent you think? Like,
what should it be right now? Okay, see, this is gonna cause some controversy, bro. It should be commission. There should not be booth rent. Yeah. Because it makes everybody accountable, man. Like, it makes everybody have a system, a focus. Like, it's like there's no other business where, like, if you work in a spot, you just like, I'm just get all what I like. Even if you advertise for me, even if you do all this other stuff. Like, if I advertise for McDonald's, I should be making a percentage off of every burger that I.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's not no diss, but like it makes it like the barber should have to pay for strips. They should have to pay for clippers. They should have to pay for barber side. A barber should just be able to just walk up to the shop, like, what you need. You chip the tooth on your clipper, I got you. Right. You need more clients, I got you. Yeah. Like, that's what a barber should do. Just show up to work like a career. Boom, and you good. Now you can build on all you gotta do is build on all your relationships with the people in your chair, and you could flip that, man.
Right. Dang. Well, let's rewind a little bit because you kind of skip past it. You didn't skip past it like that, but you said you got married.
Yes.
What made you want to do that?
At 25? Yeah. First off, I met a dope woman at like an early age, right? So I met a really dope woman at an early age who believed in me, and like, bro, when I said, bro, I don't think you understand how broke I was.
I think I got an idea.
Before the fur.
Before the fur.
Before the fur. Before the fur. Bro, man. Let me tell you how broke I used to be, bro. If I had $20, I could make that joint stretch for 2 weeks, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah. Like, I know what you mean.
Yo, if somebody gave me a $5, I was like, oh, snap. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm about to go. That's a number. That's 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers, fry. Then I'm gonna hold off and not get, because then I'm gonna use that other $2 for later on. That's what I was going, bro.
Oh man,
she was with me with that, dog. Yeah. And then I was at a church, so like, you know, I had nothing but good examples of like what marriage did. Right. When you had like your focus was like on your household versus like on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you even hear like cats like Big Crit and like, you know, even quote about it, like in this Nick Grant song they was there with Killer Mike. It's like he said he seen like every king fall by, like, you know, kind of like messing with the concubines, right? And like, if you think about it, like, if every king falls that way, the verse has to be correct too. Like, if every king focused on like the squad, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Please don't take it like, don't hit me like no Kevin Hart 5 years from now. Look at you a liar, Marcus. Oh, I hate your guts. Now y'all burning all my TV show memorabilia. No, listen, I'm just saying, if we keep our focus on our family, dog, like, how much more power could I have? And I'll even tell you, like, with that being my mindset in the beginning of our marriage, it always kept me accountable and focused. Like I never was like really looking. There's no looking outside of your marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in the church. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's no looking outside of it like that. So it's just like, you got to have all your focus on like just your wife and your goals. And your wife is going to help you try to get to your goals. So it's like, all you're doing is just like, okay, I want to help you. But she's like, no, you need to do this. So, bro, it's just like, she pushed me, bro. So she pushed me from luxury barber she pushed me from Marcus Harvey, regular barber, to I wanted to be called servant at one point. Like, super saved. Bro, I was so saved. So, servant.
Wait, you want to be called servant?
I was like, bro, so... Like, but then if I think about it, I was like, but then like, you see the evolution of a brand, and like that was the first part of my brand, which was the foundation was my brand was customer service, like servitude, like with a service mindset, like I already know what you want before you ask it, and like if I give you that, then there's nobody that you can compare me to, so you always are like, yo, where's that guy at? You feel what I'm saying? And I've actually done that again. And that servant was going to be the name of like, yo, like a cool way to just like, yo, that's my homie servant. Yo, homeboy, like he makes that joint cool. Like, bro, he ready to serve, and then just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, nah, I'm good on that though. I still don't like it. I try to be deep. It was like, nah, that ain't gonna work, bro. It's like, you can be luxury barber. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, because that's what. And then I started realizing how to like kind of build my brand before like brand building was like being done back then, because this was like 2009. So 2009, 2010, people weren't really talking about branding and entrepreneur. It wasn't even a big, cool like that, it wasn't no Instagram. It was Facebook. It was like MySpace. And this is before, I wasn't even savvy enough to be on Black People, Black Planet or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I wasn't even like savvy enough, because like I said, I was in the church. So I was just like, I had to get met with straight up MySpace and just trying to figure out a way to kind of like really name, like frame who I wanted to be. So,
and so she helped you get to that. Well, actually, to this point now.
Yeah. Invoices, websites, infrastructure, like business plans. Like she dope, bro. Like it's not no like, not like, oh, go ahead, baby, you doing a good job. Like, she's been my tour manager, dog. Like, I'm telling you, like, I feel like I got one of them Forrest Gump's lives, bro. And that's why that's why, like, when people come around me and be like, why you always hype, man? Listen, I'm living a Forrest Gump life, bro. I was on a 22 school comedy tour in 2000 something. Me and my wife, 22 dates, bro. I had 22 dates, bro. We rode up and we went all the way up north. We rode all the way up and down East Coast. Bro, she did all my tour management. She was choreographing the routes, getting the checks, talking to my manager here, talking to the school, setting up the flights, the cars. I was out here acting like I'm a star. She's my camera. She my camera woman. I'm just out here like, yeah, man, it's my time to be out here. Baby, thank you. God, I love you so very much. You know what I'm saying? So every glow up that you see, like somebody holding up the camera, bro. That's real life, bro. Every glow up that you see, somebody got to hold the camera up. If you ain't got nobody who willing to hold the camera, can't nobody see you shine, bro. And that's why I've always had somebody holding the camera. And it's always been my wife, and she ain't never been mad. She ain't never been the one to be like, man, I need it in my face. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never competed. And like I said, she has her own lane, like, and I think as a result of that, like, she's been blessed in her own lane, like, with some of the things that she, like, she goes to, like, Nigeria. She goes to Europe often. She just living fly. She's just been out of commission being pregnant for these last 2 years. Like, she's in the lab or something. yo, when I come out, I got this fire
Got some bars for you.
When I come out, I'm coming out like Meek, B. I'm coming out, I'm interviewing everything. I'm on MSNBC.
He's sure been everywhere.
Man, Meek, I saw Meek at Chuck E. Cheese talk about some justice reform. Bruh, I'm trying to get these. I got my fur and I'm trying to get the pizza from this rack. Please, sir, don't tell me about.
Oh my goodness!
Please, sir, don't tell me about no. Over here,
man.
I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying, dang, man, he everywhere.
Man, you right, man.
And I thank God for it because he gets some people free, man.
Yeah.
Gets some people free, but he everywhere though.
Man, so speaking of like free and like you not being in a box, like
nah, why?
And so like you always had this mindset like, yo, I'm gonna master this and I'm gonna try this, or what was your mindset towards trying other stuff or even going into comedy?
I think that it's like that's just like I said, everything from life. You just want to try and be great at everything. Like when you're an only kid, like you always try to like vie for attention. Even if you're in your own room by yourself, you know what I'm saying? You're still trying to fight for your own attention, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and then you're always cool with learning when you're an only child. Like, you know, they always talk about only children are like greedy and all that stuff. Yeah. But if you think about it, like kids are the only children. We have to be in our own room by ourselves. We have to learn. We have to learn. You know what I'm saying? We have to learn on our own. And like, that's a big myth because I think only children do give a lot because we always try to make friends. We've always been trying to like hear that's my fruit. Right, so like I don't want to hear that from no other kid. Your mama just like having sex with your daddy. And y'all had a lot of kids. Don't try to make y'all's house sound all more glorious. It was rougher in my household. Rougher. My mom would scream at me every time. Every time she had to buy something new. My mom buying something new every time. Why you get it? See, y'all had another brother say just one time. Your mom wasn't mad that she passed it down. So it's all good, man. You feel me? Man. But no, I just like, you want to master. I want to master everything, dog. Everything that I do, I want to be dope at it. Like, be thy dope. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know, why not be great at everything you do? Like, I wanted to hoop. Like, I wanted to have the best handles. I started dribbling with a racquetball. I was ripping cats' ankles off with the ligaments, attached. You know what I'm saying? I wanted my J to be fresh. I stayed in the gym, shoot 150 threes. You know what I'm saying? To get your stuff right. So it's the same thing with this. Like I wanted to be a dope barber, so I just continue to cut more and more, and try to build on my craft. Comedy, same way. I just was always obsessed with like just jokes. And then even when I was young too, man, I used to record like comic view. It's just crazy, bro. So everything that I'm doing is I've always been doing. So it's not necessarily that I always go outside of my wheelhouse. It's always something that I've been obsessed with since I was a child. Yeah. Comedy, like I almost worked.
It's all right, man.
It's all right, cool. We just check it out. It's all right. That's how we start out, baby. We back in the game. I'll pause. I ain't tripping. Dog. Let you get it right. See, hey, that's what makes these interviews so dope. I remember when I didn't have nobody holding my camera, man. Now look, you got white men all over the place carrying bags for no reason. Yeah, man. So, like with comedy, man, like I used to be obsessed with like Def Comedy Jam, and I used to be obsessed with like Comic View, like bro, like. When I say obsessed with Comic View, I would like record them and have like VHS. Y'all remember back in the day, VHS? I would have like the name of what it was about to be, like what episode it was, who was performing, like how long they set was. It was just weirdly detailed for a 13-year-old kid. Like, way too detailed. I was like, calm down, bro. I'm the only child. I have nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do. Yeah.
I'm trying to find a way to kind of eat my time up. So, just watching that, man, and just always loving watching Martin, Cedric the Entertainer, just loving their style, like how they were always so relatable and personable. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's kind of like something that kind of built inside of me. Just knowing that as an only child, you got to make friends, so you want to make people feel relatable.
Make them laugh. Yeah.
So that's what it was.
That's dope, man. Man, so. I remember one time, you probably don't remember, but I remember one of the first time I met you, And I asked you, I'm like, man, how do you balance everything? Because you do a lot, and man, this is a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure I missed some stuff, but like, how do you balance and how do you like stay centered? Because you cut celebrities, you travel. How do you stay like grounded, and how do you balance?
I get cussed out often, just to be totally honest. So like nobody lets me get too big headed. Like it's funny because people will see me do like celebrities, but like when I'm at the shop, I don't necessarily show a lot of video because I'm like trying to like make up for me being gone. So I'm doing like, you know, everybody that I had to reschedule. So I'm not even putting up like, I'm not being able to show off like, you know, I'm out here still cutting my hair. But it's like, so perception, what I will say is like how to stay balanced. I think balance is perception, and let me bring that all together. So, it's perceived that like I have balance, which I do because I don't get caught up in what would seem like what would be perceived as not being balanced. Like I don't get caught up when people get mad at me for me not being able to fulfill their requests for my presence. Like I have to turn down sometimes a lot of celebrities. Like sometimes my schedule, I might be here and I might be committed to somebody else, or I might have a full book and I can't fly out to cut you. So I might be getting cussed out by the guy that you like, oh, Mark, they so cool. Like, damn, are you never nowhere? I'm like, and then I come home and the cat is like, you ain't never in the shop no more. Cutting you right now, dog. How am I not? I cut your last week. Bro, just not on
this day.
So it's like, so I think that's what keeps you humble, like knowing that you always have to pursue, you're always in the pursuit of perfection in a sense, or pleasing people, but not people pleasing, because I don't necessarily get wrapped up in like, because I know like the perception, like it's perceived that I'm always gone, but I'm always here. And it's perceived that I'm always here, but I'm always gone. You know what I'm saying? So like I have just a good schedule, like well, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm off. So I'm kicking it with the family. I'm not putting a lot of that on IG, so it's not like you could be like, oh, okay, he's with his family a lot. So like some people might be like, Marcus does nothing but work. You know what I'm saying? And flies out. That's all he does. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only time my hands are free. Whether it be like, you know, and then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I cut hair in the shop. Typically, playoff season, I might, you know, have some type of like, and now my life lives off of schedules. It's weird now, which is a blessing. It is such a blessing by the Lord that I know like that I have like staples, like successions. Like I know that in February I'm gonna be for All-Star. March Madness. April through June is always hectic because I had the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So trying to fit those things. Then in the October months, I always have Ghost Brothers. Then at the end of the months, everybody's always shutting down, so I always have strong family time. In October, I have the summit for the barbers. You know what I'm saying? So I always have like sections and pockets. So I feel like I get to touch everybody, but as I start expanding more and more, you know, a lot of people may not necessarily get as much access, or even the people that I meet who actually have heard so much like wonderful things about like how I interact with people may not be able to get that same interaction that I have with these people. Even with my new relationships. So like even some of my new relationships, people be like, oh, it's about to be cracking. Oh, I see how Mark's treated. Like, hey dog, you the 50th barber that I done met. And it's not no diss, it's just like I gotta fill you out now. Cause I done had, you know, 38 barbers be like, F you, Nick. You know what I'm saying? Where I've had the other 20 be like, thank you for helping me save my family's life. You know what I'm saying? And I might have 5 that might be like, he's all right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like trying to figure out, like you said, like I said before, perfection. I'm trying to be like 100% on the situation where everybody like, yo, I mess with Marcus. Like rain, sleet, or snow. Like, even though like it may not have worked out, but everybody who's worked with me know that I done put something in their pocket. I done put something in their mind. I done put something in their heart. And I definitely done put something in their spirit. Where that fur at? Get that fur back over here.
No, that's real, man. And I remember one thing you did tell me, you put in my mind, because we was talking about balance, and you was talking about just being present in the moment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, like me, I'm always thinking like, man, how can I get there? What I got to do to get there? And I'm not present. Or I might have another thing I got to do, and I'm not actually sitting in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Can you talk about that? Like, that mindset? Or do you remember telling me that?
Yeah, I mean, I do remember tell you something similar to that. I would say this. The reason why I know to be present in the moment is because I miss so many moments. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people younger than me, you know, who are like, I already see that they got that glow, got that, you already see them with the Bruce Leroy in them, you know what I'm saying? Like yourself, like, be present, because like, if you learn that in 24, 25, 26, 27, where I learned it at 30, you know what I'm saying, or at 31, 32, like, you have so many more years of just like really being present. Like I said, like, being present is just like soaking up, like, wow, I'm here. Like, like, I'm here. Like, that's why people don't get a lot of replies on that text. Like, if you notice how I text message with you, like, what the heck is this dude doing? But you see right now when you hear it, I'm locked in. Like, because it's got to be like, I got to enjoy this. I got to be like, okay, in my head, I'm like, where this going to be in 5 years when he start glowing up? And then he throws this as a throwback Thursday. Like, I just want to throw this up. When I first had somebody, when I was dropping cameras and stuff, I just want to tell you, man, it's crazy. Now look at this. That's what I want to see. Like, that's how my mind moves, because time's going to move anyway. So I'm like, you might as well be present if time's going to move. Right. Be present, because it's going to come anyway, so you might as well be present. Soak up it. Soak it up. Soak that thing. And then I just been in some fly spots, so and I had to be like,
you gotta, is
this a yacht? I don't even drink champagne. Why do y'all like this? For the choir dates.
Man, so man, I appreciate you, man. We're gonna wrap it up, man. We usually end the podcast with one question, and that is, what would you tell 21-year-old Marcus Harvey?
Nigga, you gonna be dope. Ooh, you gonna be dope, bro. You gonna be dope. You gonna be so dope. Nigga gonna see you coming, bro. You so broke right now, but when I tell you, bro, when you come up, it's gonna be 10 years, 15 years from now, but you about to blow up. They gonna love you then. They don't know you now, but it's all good because you dope now, and you gonna be dope in the future, and we gonna keep living, bro. Wait till you see this joint. Oh, snap, bro. Okay, that's what I said. That's what I tell 21-year-old Marcus.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I want to thank you, man, on the mic, because, man, you was one of the first people I met when I came to Atlanta. And I was nervous going to the shop and stuff. But you was just, man, a cool dude, man.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man.
Blessings, brother.
All right, man.
Blessings, man.
Thanks,
Get this fur out the way so it doesn't bite you. He's going to be dope, man. That's what it's going to be.
Yo, so there you have it. That was episode 5, the Marcus Harvey. Yo, I really enjoyed interviewing him. We had so much fun, man. Had a great time. One thing that I took away from him was in the beginning when he talked about how he turns his negatives into positives. You know, whether that means making money from it, or that means making somebody laugh, or just changing his whole mindset into making something positive. And so that was something that I'm going to use and apply to my life. I hope you guys had your own takeaways from it. But yeah, man, thank you for tuning in. Hit me up on Instagram at Juwan Hubbard. You can hit Marcus up at the Marcus Harvey. You know, if you want to just holler at him, you know, hit me up with some feedback, or hit him up with, you know, whatever you want to talk to him about. So thanks again, guys. I'll let you next week. I promise you I will continue to get better. I will continue to improve. Thank you guys who've been with me since episode 1. Thank you guys who've been with me when I just had the idea for the podcast. So, man, I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great week. Remember, do not be average, man. Just go and try. Do something. Do something this week, all right? Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. All right, I'll let you.